Well, here we go. Today's the day. We could become a Football League side well ahead of schedule. Yes, welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story, A Wandering Dork with me, Daniel. It's Season 3, Episode 9, and today we play the National League playoff final at Wembley. Yes, hello and welcome along to what is probably the most crucial episode of this series so far, and possibly the most important one of the series anyway. In this one club challenge, reaching the Football League is always the biggest point. Financially, it's where you don't have to worry with the club anymore, and it's also the one where you get to go professional with a smaller club. So I'm starting to think this could be a really big step for us, and today we play 5th place Aldershot, who had a brilliant late turnaround against Leyton Orient in the semis. If you missed our semi-final, then do go back and catch up with it, as well as the series so far. It's been a really interesting journey to get here, so there's a link to that in the eye above. If you are following along and enjoying the series, please do put a thumbs up on the video. It makes such a difference to the channel and the episode. I really do appreciate your support with it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, then subscribe for daily FM20 content from this story with Dorking Wanderers and our journeyman with a twist, the head coach. Of course, we're completing our first season with Dorking since reaching 1,000 subscribers, and what a way this could be to celebrate it. A massive thank you again to everyone that's helped me reach that milestone. I really do appreciate you following along, and my silly antics on Football Manager. I'm so grateful that so many of you are watching. But we've got a few bits of news to get through before the game today. Of course, we haven't played any matches off camera. It's just a few news items that'll help us out or not today, so let's go and look through them individually. We've got Aaron Presley, who's failed a fitness test. He's not going to be involved in the squad today. I thought about chucking him on the bench, but then I thought it's absolutely pointless. He's not actually got the best goal scoring record this year, and I don't want to throw on an unfit striker. Combined with that was the fact that Jason Pryor delayed his retirement. He's postponed it by a couple of weeks to be here for this game, and what a way it would be for him to finish off. He's even improving slightly at this stage, so he's obviously looking forward to the final, and a good crowd expected for this match today. We'll be playing in front of around 38,000 people, by far the biggest crowd any of this Dorking squad have played in front of, so maybe they will freeze on the big stage. But the dynamics are good, everything else is pretty decent as well. We couldn't ask for much more at this stage really. I've hidden all the try lists so you can't see them. I want to do a focus on that in a review episode next time out. If you've not seen our end of season reviews yet, we focus on a couple of areas of the club off the pitch and really talk about them in a lot of detail, almost as if it was a Football Manager guide. So if it's your sort of thing, then do come and check that out next time around, and hopefully after that we'll be preparing for life in the Football League. So let's go and get straight into this match. You don't want to see anything else, do you? It's all about whether we can get to the Football League or not, and let's go and pick our lineup for today's game. We'll go through the pre-match procedure. Aldershot heavy favourites, they would be. They're a professional side, nearly 39,000 expected according to that, and Aldershot have won 5 games on the bounce, so they're in pretty good form themselves as well. We've got a Domer out, as we mentioned, long term. His last game's already been played for the club, and Aaron Presley isn't quite going to make it, but I'm still and ahhing about whether to chuck him on the bench. I know it means he'll probably miss all summer, and it might even harm us next year, but this is such a big moment in the series, surely we have to gamble, and we'll think about that in a moment. So I haven't changed anything from the last game yet. I've just got the same 11 and 16 in place at the moment, so let's see what we can do. Still only 5 subs, which is where the difficulty comes. I can't really put one unfit striker on there, because then I don't have anyone else if need be. He's got 4 days till he's back to fitness. His injury was sprained ankle ligaments, and I just don't see how he's going to be able to play. I really don't think he's going to be fit enough. So as a result of that, I think I have to leave Pryor on the bench, as Presley's not actually that great anyway, and Pryor's got that predatory instinct if we need it, so I think he could be crucial in this game. But in terms of the 16, I'm tempted to go for exactly the same. The only one I was thinking about was Owen James for Georgie, and in fact that might be the one I'm going to do, but I don't want to change a winning team. So no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick with the same 11. Ramsbottom in goal, Vaughan and Demure the fullbacks, with Lomas and Humphrey centre half, Hondermark joined by Smith in the middle, Lopez and Joe and James on the wings, and then Whittaker joined by Cameron Archer up front. Can those two keep their goal scoring boots on from the last game? And can we keep a 5th clean sheet in a row? If we do both of those, we'll be in the Football League after this episode, so fingers crossed we'll be able to make it happen. Let's get into the game and see if we can win it. I've not been more nervous for a Football Manager game in some time. Well, it's a 4-2-3-1 for Aldershot. Another side trying to overrun us in midfield. They've got a few players I recognise. Is that Mitch Walker in goal? If those of you who were following back in FM18, the standard of videos wasn't great then. It was my first head coach series on the channel. He was in goal for my Dover side from season 2 onwards, and he really was a very good keeper, had excellent reflexes, and it's good to see him doing well with Aldershot, though I hope he doesn't do well today. And those of you following the head coach might recognise another name, William Hartshorn at centre half. He's playing brilliantly for them in the National League at the top end of the pitch, but unfortunately for us he's not doing so great. We'll be hoping to address that next time. Of course this is a couple of years later down the line, so we'd expect them to be a little bit further in their development, but there's some good names there and it's going to be a tough game, and I'm just hoping these lads can repeat the Barnet performance. And that's what Nick Haycock's asking, pick up where you left off, and hopefully this young side won't freeze on the big stage, as we need another big performance from Matt Smith in the middle. Let's get into the first half via another tunnel interview. We're looking forward to it, and Ramsbottom's been brilliant at the back, and Luca Navarro's someone we're definitely going to have to watch. As is Tyrone O'Neill. They've got plenty of good strikers up there, and they've got loads to choose from in the starting 11, as well as a couple of game changers on the bench. 10 minutes gone, we've not seen anything so far, and long may that continue. We just want a calm performance. But we're here for our first attack. Ethan Vaughan with a throw on the right, plays a 1-2 with Whittaker. Can he get it in? Towards the left winger, James is headed away. Smith back down to Lopez on the right, and there's 2 or 3 in the box that are waiting. Back to Smith, it's in via Archer. Cameron Archer, the hero. He just gets a foot out. Smith shoots. It was going horrendously wide. Archer sticks his foot out and just gets something on it and prods it with his big toe. It's into the back of the net. Dorking Wanderers lead against Aldershot, though the away side are forward here. Hondermark heads the ball away and then Whittaker picks it up. Can we counter and make it 2 quick goals? Back to Ethan Vaughan, the right back. Brilliant development from him this season. Was going to be a backup and has come on leaps and bounds, and now he's put Whittaker in. 1-on-1, his shot saved by Walker. There's the brilliant reflexes from the Aldershot number 1, and with 20 gone we still lead 1-0, but we're absolutely rampant yet again. It looks like we found our best form, and with this result we'd be heading to the Football League. Just 60 minutes to go. Let's see if we can make the dream a reality. Well, we're on the stroke of half time. We've not seen any further highlights, and we certainly won't complain about that. Although we've got a chance to nick a late second here. What a time it would be to score. Vaughan into Archer, who heads. He's done it again. Cameron Archer puts it in the back of the net. 2-0 right on the half-time whistle. And Aldershot yet to have a shot on target. And Dorking Wanderers heading for the Football League. We don't even get time for the kick-off. What a brilliant time to score. Cameron Archer into the team and the hero. And Presley won't be getting back in a hurry. Hartshorn's been booked for Aldershot. We know that familiarly from the other story, but what a first half performance. It's just been like the Barnet game all over again. We're going to tell the lads to keep it up. They all look delighted. The only thing that can cost us here is complacency. Is Ethan Vaughan at right back heading away to Lopez. Plays a 1-2 in his own box. Get rid of it, will ya? Ramsbottom goes long to Lopez, and now we're building out nicely from the back. Lopez charging down the right hand side. He's got plenty of options. One of them's Hondermark. Inside to him, who finds Lopez again, and a chance to cross for the 3 in the box. James is there at the back. Stick is into the back post. What a header back across the keeper. We're going to the Football League, everyone. I'm brimming with pride at this performance. This and the Barnet game have been the 2 best performances of the series, and I'm so excited. What a wonderful performance from the lads. Just half an hour from the Football League and I already feel like we can celebrate, and we'll go and look at changes in a moment. What a decision it was to start Owen James. 25 to go. Aldershot with a corner. The last thing we want to do is give one away here. Smith heads away and Navarro volleys in from the edge. That's an absolutely fantastic strike. A bit too much time for him there. We're not pleased about that. But with 25 to go, Aldershot have got a lifeline. They've got another corner straight after into the box. Humphreys heads away again. And is with Lopez going to get there? Thought it was Whittaker chasing for a moment, but he's out to the right to Chislett, and we might have to think about changes in a moment. We're really starting to struggle in midfield, getting overrun. They've probably changed to 3 up front by the looks of it. They're pushing on our fullbacks though. Lopez has nicked it high. Can we go and get a 4th here? Oh, that's a dirty challenge. Get him sent off. Second yellow card. Lopez was in. Kinsella tripped him, and he's going to be saying goodbye to his Wembley final. Off he goes. We're playing 10 men. Dirty foul there. It falls for Archer in the box, but he's going to be forced to go backwards. From the wide area he crosses it, bobbling around all over the place. Out to O'Neill, who can clear. And the last thing we want to do is concede again. We don't want to give the 10 men any confidence. We'll see how this highlight, and then we'll make changes. We'll look at what shape they're playing. playing. Although Navarro's in one-on-one here. Good save by Ramsbottom, and Lomas gets there to clear for a throw, and now we are going to make some substitutions. Let's go and see what formation they're playing after the red card. We probably need to adapt to that. They're playing a 4-2-2-1, so I need to keep the fullbacks defensive. I'm just going to drop Zamora to a fullback on defend, and then we'll probably stick in a holding midfielder as well. I'm not quite sure how we want to go about it yet. I'll think about that in a moment, but let's get over to the tactics screen and see if we can make some game-changing replacements. So the first thing I'm going to do is a positive mentality. Really want to control the game from here. Whittaker's not had a good match, but I don't want to bring Pryor on. I'm going to bring on Jake Gallagher. He's going to go into holding midfield. I just want to be pragmatic at this point. Keep possession, make sure we win comfortably, and we can even keep possession and dominate the pitch. So we're also going to go to a ball-winning midfielder on defend. Jake Gallagher's preferred role there, and he's going to hunt down anyone who gets in that zone to prevent people getting long shots away. We've got Fabio Lopez having an average game on the right. Giorgi's going to come on for him, a really decent replacement. We're going to drop Zamora to a fullback on defend as mentioned, just because they're playing those wingers high up the pitch. And for now, I think we're going to leave the final substitution. We'll make it in another 10 minutes if need be. Any other changes we want to make? Let's time waste all the time. There's no need to get in a hurry. Let's frustrate them, see if we can get them down to 9. We'll slow the pace down when the keeper's got it. We don't need to go for the 2 long balls over the top. We haven't got 2 strikers, just the 1 now, so we can be a little bit more cautious. We're going to drop that line of engagement up front. Again, try and cramp the midfield area, and we're going to play a little bit shorter, I think, or in fact, let's keep it normal for the wingers. When we get towards the end, we will play shorter, but for now, we're just going to go back into it like that. A 4-3-3 with 20 to go, and hopefully we can see off the 10 men. Well, 10 down, 10 to go, and we haven't seen a highlight. Exactly what we wanted at this stage. We're going to make a like-for-like replacement. Hondermark replaced by Whelan. Not had the best game, Hondermark. Done a pretty solid job, though, and Whelan comes in as a central midfielder on attack, the position he likes to play anyway. So let's get back into this last 10 minutes, see if we can hold off this Aldershot side. A brilliant performance by Cameron Archer. Looks like it's sent us to the Football League. Well, we're not going to see any more highlights. The full-time whistle goes. We are heading to the Football League after just 3 seasons with Dorking. Back-to-back promotions, an unbelievable achievement this season. And we've now got to prepare for life in League 2, which will be shaping a lot of tomorrow's review episode. You've got to be fair to the 10 men. They gave it a fight in the second half, but a brilliant performance for the first 50 minutes was enough to take us into the professional leagues. Let's tell the lads we appreciate their performance. We came back in style in the playoffs, and a fantastic 2 performances leads us to League 2, although we didn't manage to keep a clean sheet today. I could not be more happy with the performance. So much pride in the way we've played there, and let's get ourselves through all these messages before reviewing and looking at our stars of the season. So Cameron Archer, man of the match, no surprise there whatsoever. We win the playoff final, we're promoted to League 2, and we'll be joining Chesterfield there next season, and it means we'll have to turn professional as well. So we'll deal with a post-match press conference in a minute. We've got a board meeting to discuss our improvements. Turning professional is something we very much need to do, and Dorking Wanderers will be doing that imminently. Let's see when the date's going to change over. The 5th of July, so it does mean the players we sign this year will probably be on semi-pro deals, but it does lead us in a good way going forward. We can then offer the ones who we think will be good enough. So it actually gives us 2 chances with our trials. We can bring in semi-pro players for a season, as we have been before, and then if any of them are good enough, we can offer them pro deals afterwards, and we've not got the other ones tied down for too long. So the collective bonus for the lads is 10 grand. They deserve every penny of it to be shared out, and Archer's on form. We've got to go and praise him. 2 goals, and he came back in style. He's going to be our first choice next season at this rate. The skipper Jake Gallagher's praised me. He says we've done a remarkable job and he'll be getting himself a new deal. Still so crucial to this club. Off the pitch he's an absolute force. His mentoring groups are always fantastic. He's been helping so many of these young players develop, and although he'll barely feature next year, he's going to be such an important person at the club. I'm going to see if he'll actually take a staff coaching course, as I'd love to keep him here post his career. A professional personality, we want to keep those on board. As Dorking praise our unbelievable promotion. The board are happy with us, the chairman should be too, and let's see what budget they've rewarded us with. Hopefully it'll be a nice improvement. Well, I'm nervous to click on it, but let's go and have a look. A 15 grand wage budget, I'm not sure what it is at the moment. We're currently spending 10 grand a week, so it's an extra 5. Now normally that doesn't mean much when you're getting promoted, but what I've done here, and I've been very careful with Dorking, particularly after those financial troubles in the first year, I've taken out the promotion wage rise in nearly everyone's contract, so I think only Archer still got it in actually. He was the the only one that wouldn't accept another deal, so everyone else won't be increasing their wage, although we will obviously give them professional deals if possible. So that's not going to harm us too much. We'll move over the transfer budget. We don't need to spend money on players. We'll be going for as many frees and loans as possible. And of course, the majority of this squad's still going to be here next year, and I think it's good enough to get 22nd place. White's ecstatic. He was the man that led to most of the promotions, started the club just over 20 years ago, was our assistant of course in the first year as well. Unfortunately, because he only wants to be a manager, there's not a way to get him back in the club here. I'd love to keep him on board till the very end, but unfortunately he won't accept another role. But promoted from the National League as a semi-pro club, a remarkable achievement for us, a brilliant story and fantastically ahead of schedule, and it means we can consolidate in League 2 for a while, so we will probably be near a relegation battle next year, but at least we can just have a comfortable season. It won't make or break us coming back down, as we'll stay professional and almost be certain to come back up again, so we'll deal with that press conference off camera when we finish, but let's go and have a look at the end of season squad. We'll of course talk in more detail about our plans in the next episode. Preparing to turn professional is going to be one of the features. I didn't know if I could do it because I didn't know if we'd get promoted. If we'd stayed down, we obviously still would have been semi-pro. So the next episode, the end of season 3 review, we'll be talking about preparing to turn professional, and we'll also talk about something else off the pitch, and it may be something to do with tactics. It's something I found out the hard way from the head coach, so I'm not sure if we'll have time for it after the Football League preparations, but if we can, we'll squeeze that in as well. If not, we'll do it at the end of next year. But that's probably my tip for the day, particularly when you're a side that thinks you can get promoted, is take out the promotion wage rise of everyone's contract. Yes, you possibly have to pay them 25 quid more a week, or offer them an extra £5 in terms of appearance and goal bonuses, but it means you don't have that extra £5 on the wage bill when you go up, and it makes it far easier to manage the club going forward. So let's look at the average ratings. Not actually that good this season. We've not been our free-flowing best. For the first half of the year we were so efficient. Even at the end of the year when we weren't winning, it was all 0-0 draws, we were still pretty solid at the back. I'm really worried we're going to lose Bashir Humphreys, a centre-half on non-contract terms. Hopefully a professional deal will keep him on board, but he has been getting offers from League 1. The likes of Portsmouth have come in for him, so we do need to be careful with that. I think he'll probably want to go, to be honest. But the star of the season is without doubt Terrell Whittaker, although he did lose his form right at the end. Scored in the semi-final, though couldn't get one in the final, but 26 goals in the season, a fantastic achievement in 50 appearances and an average rating of 7.3. Then the man of the moment, Cameron Archer, 17 goals in 21 starts, a 7.13 average rating, a brilliant season from him. Not the best for all parts, but on the big stage he turned up, a goal in the semi-final and 2 in the final, an absolute hero in his football club's history. The other 3 above a 7 are Smith, who was superb in those 2 playoff games, Fabio Lopez and Aaron Presley, all of the men who've been banging in the goals basically, though I'm a bit disappointed in the defenders' ratings. They've kept so many clean sheets and their average ratings are poor. There does seem to be a bit of a problem with the fullbacks this year, but we're not going to worry about that too much for now. So if we put them in terms of appearances, Ramsbottom with the most starts on 49, there are plenty of others in the 40s for appearances. We've had a really settled squad for the most part this year. In terms of goals, you know who the stars are, the 3 strikers and Fabio Lopez, on the mark with a few screamers as well, and Adoma deserves a mention, came in partway through the year, and despite a late injury did a really good job for us, 5 goals and 5 assists in 20 starts. Then lastly assists, that's where Aaron Presley comes into his own, a really good target man, put on 10 goals for his centre forward partners, and then Jordan Zamora with 10 from left back, Fabio Lopez with 11 from the right wing, and Bashir Humphreys with 6, a real threat from set pieces, Matthew Smith setting up 6 with those through balls as well. So a really good season and plenty of work to be done ahead of next year. We'll obviously talk a lot more about that in the end of season review. So in 2 days time we'll have that review episode, in 4 days time the transfer special for the start of League 2, and then in 6 days time our Football League debut. An exciting week ahead for this Dorking Wanderers save. If you did enjoy this playoff final and are looking forward to those episodes, please do put a thumbs up on the video. It really does make such a difference and I do appreciate it so much, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am, especially as we're so far ahead of schedule. Let me know in the comments where you think we need to improve, or do you think this squad is good enough to stay up? For me, I didn't really want to go on a revolution this year. We'll of course get the trialists in. If they're that much better we'll bring them in, but I don't think they will be, so it'll probably just be 5 or 6 this year rather than 12 or 13, and then maybe a few others to go into the under 18s. But I'm interested to know your thoughts. How do you think we'll get on? I'm really intrigued to see how we do in League 2. Of course, we've got those two loanees, Lopez and Smith, tied up for next season. So we've got pretty much the squad we've got now, and I think they're going to be able to do a decent job. But a wonderful performance at Wembley. Let me know who you think the standout performer was. Of course, Archie got the 2 goals, but there were so many strong performances. Ethan Vaughan's been one that's really impressed me, and he's someone who will feature heavily in the next episode. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content from my 2 long-term stories. This one with Dorking Wanderers will be back in 2 days' time. We just talked about the plan for the next week with this series, and then the head coach will be back tomorrow, our journeyman story, combined with the director of football challenge, which we found a little bit difficult at the start of this year's story. Finally, I'm part of a football podcast which does matchday vlogs and interviews. The latest matchday vlogs in the eye above, and we're also available on Spotify with a series of interviews about coaching and favourite games. So we've interviewed the likes of former Premier League referee Bobby Madley and Tranmere chairman Mark Palios. So if it's your sort of thing, then do give it a try. But a massive thanks for watching this one as always, and your continued support with the series. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time as we prepare for life in the Football League and talk about setting a club up for turning professional.